DocDrive365 brings SharePoint and Dynamics together in an intelligent fashion that is very simple to use. We're going to take a quick look at the functionality now and see some common basic examples of how to put this to use. So if we find a tender in Dynamics CRM, we can bring that record up and see the history of that tender, and then one of the key elements is the list of documents and files we're storing as part of doing that tender process. And we can immediately see these here. They're stored in SharePoint, but we don't so much care. The end user can just see those in Dynamics and see them quickly and easily, including the ability to drag and drop new documents in at a touch of a button. So they're immediately then going into a proper sort of document management platform that SharePoint is, with a minimum of fuss. And with the way we bring Office 365 into this is effectively clicking any one of those documents immediately opens Word Online, where we can then start editing that document without downloading it, editing it, and re-uploading it, which can create all sorts of version problems for us, particularly when combined with the sort of ease of email and then firing copies of documents over email rather than sharing one document that we can all collaborate on. Now, if we jump up one level here into the company record, what we can then see is the usual Dynamics view of a particular company, but we can come in here and then look at all of the documents we store for that particular company. Now, this initial view can be quite overwhelming because there's lots of folders, documents going on. But what we can do is then change the group by over here to content type. And we can see SharePoint content types directly in Dynamics, which then gives us a much better way of managing the documents we store and seeing what's really going on. And that brings metadata and sort of more good document management concepts into how we use Dynamics. Now, within this company, we also have a series of quotes for quotes that we might be producing for that company as part of those tenders. We can then jump down into any one of those quotes and again jump into the documents we store for that quote. But then when we look at the documents in here, we're seeing two different things. We're seeing the documents that we track for that quote, so we have a Word document and a PDF here, but then we're also seeing a series of product brochures as PDFs that relate to the type of quote we're producing. So we can bring in documents not just as this is a list of documents we store for one particular quote, but we can do this intelligently by going, here's a whole load of documents that we store elsewhere that are relevant to this quote. So if you need a particular brochure, it's at your fingertips. And then you can use that information to produce the actual quotes for this particular transaction that we're doing. Similarly, DocDrive365 integrates various document generation functionality, most notably Word templates in Dynamics, to then mean that we can produce new quotes at a touch of a button and have those directly stored in SharePoint again. So we're not having to download them again and then re-upload them. We can actually produce that document straight away and then get that done into a particular template. Now, there's a lot of functionality in DocDrive365 to do with documents, SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, even moving into cognitive services and other types of machine learning on documents. But that basic level really allows us to roll out DocDrive365 for any particular client and immediately give them a well-managed document structure. And behind all of this is a series of rules about how we want to track documents, such that we can go into those rules and control exactly what we want Dynamics to be doing with SharePoint. And so this comes with a whole framework, effectively, of going, what SharePoint sites, document libraries, folders do we want to be created in our sort of document management backend, and have all of those springing into life in reaction to the records that have been created in Dynamics. So dynamic records in Dynamics can share document locations and reuse SharePoint locations themselves, or create completely new SharePoint locations for every record that we use. And this gives a truly sort of completely flexible level of functionality that's immediately available for anybody using DocDrive365 to completely bring Dynamics and SharePoint together as a single integrated solution.